Hello, good evening, and welcome to the wonderful Guns and Yellow Ribbons preview podcast. Tonight, we won't be previewing too many of this weekend's games. We'll just be looking at where we might see an FA Cup upset or two. But we will be talking about last night's game. Hey, not much happened, did it? Not much, it didn't happen. Anyone seen social media today? Absolute meltdown. I'm joined by Fergus. We're going to talk right now. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. This is your Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Enjoy the show.
Trevor, I think I've dried out. I do think I've dried out. There's a couple of wet patches somewhere on me. Oh, my good God, yesterday, mate. That was absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful it was.
Do you know what, mate? I'm gutted that I had to miss last night's game, and I'm missing two more as well coming up. But when I saw that weather on the TV and I saw you boys, I thought, well, and then I saw the football, I thought, oh, well, actually, I probably I didn't choose. I had to miss the right game, really. It looked horrendous, Ferg.
Trevor, I've had my season ticket 15 years. Yes, occasionally I get a splattering of a bit of rain on the North Bank on Block 5, but it was constant. I had a yachting jacket on, you know, my coat that I wear. I actually put the hood onto it before I left, and I'm glad I did. I literally could see rain pouring down my face off the hood. It was horrendous. And, you know, people talk about the game. I said this before we started. Talk about the game and go, oh, we were crap and this, that, and the other, and it wasn't a great game. You know, I don't know about how the players felt, but I knew standing on those stands with my jeans wet, my feet cold from the concrete, my coat just felt cold. How it is standing there, shorts and a jersey.
Do you know what, mate? I mean, I would hope that the players don't even notice it, you know, because they're paid a lot of money and they play every week in all weathers. But it does make you think, doesn't it? You know, some of these South American players or the players from Southern Europe, you know, they're not used to that kind of weather. I don't know. Who knows, mate? Who knows? But anyway, listen, Ferg, we're going to try and keep it to half an hour tonight, people, because it's, we're going to talk a little bit about the FA Cup and the Liverpool game, but we're only going to keep it to about half an hour, as I just said. Ferg, are you putting the comments up tonight, my man? Are you doing
indeed? Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. So thank you, everyone, already in the comments. Much appreciated. Ferg, let's go back just to the start of the game, right? The start of the game, the first 20 minutes, right? I'm sat here, right, in my Arsenal dressing gown with my Arsenal slippers on, with my Arsenal hat on, thinking, feet up, chair reclined, dog on my lap. Dog was farting, but it didn't put me off of watching, right? Thinking first 20 minutes, it's only a matter of time, Ferg. It's only a matter of time, I was thinking.
That first half, look, I think we had 3 shots on target, 6 shots on goal. We dominated possession with 60-something% of possession. And like you, I thought, yeah, okay. But as the time ticked along, I thought, hang on a second. Liverpool are here for a draw. Liverpool had just that low block that Arnie struggles to score against. He brought his own low block to the Emirates, especially in that first half, but it did change a little in the second.
Yeah. Do you know what? As the first half wore on, I thought to myself, Liverpool have closed this right down. The commentator actually said Liverpool had moved their back line right up and they'd dropped their forward line. So they were actually, looked to me on the TV.
It was compact.
They were just, the middle third of the field was becoming clogged. And I thought, oh, here we go, you know. And as the first half wore on, we sort of lost our oomph a bit. But I thought, here we go, half time, you know, Arteta will lift them. They'll come out firing, kicking towards the North Bank. They like doing that second half. Everything was ready-made. But Ferg, I'm still baffled by it, right? I've thought about it all day. And I know that Liverpool closed the game down, right? Second half they did. I mean, they didn't have a shot on target all game, but second half they shut the game down. But we just didn't penetrate, Ferg.
I think because they made us so compact in the midfield, myself and Dan were talking, our midfield just struggled to get any creativity about it. I thought Odegaard, who's been fantastic for 5 or 6 games, and I have said is the electricity that has made us really work recently. Even Rice, they all looked a little bit tired. And I didn't know, again, on reflection, I didn't know if that was because of like the conditions they were playing in. Liverpool didn't look fantastic, but they just looked brighter than they did in the first half.
Do you know what, Ferg, right? You know me. No one is. I always find a positive in a negative, right? And I will at the end of this show. I'll end on a positive. But if I'm honest, I sat there watching it. I'm not used to watching it on the telly, as you know, but I watched it, and I honestly thought halfway through the second half, we've tried a few things now. We're void of ideas now. And we're not going to get past this Liverpool close down. You know, I just felt that we didn't have it in us. I thought that. Go on.
I did think that when we lost in Kepier and we had to bring on Maitland, I kept on calling him last night Maitland-Niles, Miles Lewis-Skelly. I think they tried to exploit that area. And Miles, great player, young player, still learning on the job. I do think he was the chink in the armor that we had. I was hoping that he and I was hoping Trevor's gone for the minute. I was hoping that he and maybe Jesus, when he came on, would be.
Sorry, Ferg.
It's all right.
Button.
Major panic. I thought I got to talk on my own there for a second.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button, but yeah. You were saying, Ferg. You were saying, mate.
Yeah, Miles Lewis-Skelly came on, and I just think he's a great player, he's a young player, he's a developing player, but I did think that they exploited that area because Hincapié was having a good game. I did like seeing Jesus come on. I did like seeing Madueke come on because I thought Saka started really bright in the first half, but again, as you said, we ran out of ideas in the second half. It wasn't helped. Sorry, Trev. It wasn't helped by Liverpool's tactics, like Frimpong lying down in the box for 10, 15 minutes, an hour, or I don't know how long. I know Martinelli done something similar later, but it wasn't helped.
Yeah, it wasn't. Look right. I thought that Skelly looked. Let's put it this way. I thought that Skelly looked really rusty when he came on last night. He just couldn't get the pace of the game. He couldn't get on it, you know. When he moved up the pitch a bit and got the ball at his feet, he made 1 or 2 really nice little jinky runs, did Skelly. And just made me think all the more I want to see him in the midfield, especially games like last night where you've got Odegaard struggling, you know, and he doesn't seem to want to bring Eze on early in the game. I mean, he didn't bring Eze on until 77 minutes last night. I'm thinking I'd love to see Skelly. Just give him a go. Or, more importantly, what about Nwaneri?
Yeah.
Why isn't he using Nwaneri? When we're stuck in a rut like that game was last night, right? Stuck in a rut. Try something extremely different, Mikel Arteta. Stick Nwaneri on. We know what the boy's capable of, you know?
Yeah. To be honest, I can only think the only reason Nwaneri's not getting minutes is I've heard rumours of possibly Bournemouth, another Premier League team, maybe going out on loan. That's the only reason I can think of it. Because, okay, he's going to struggle to try and get ahead of Odegaard and Eze. He's going to struggle to get ahead of Madueke and Saka. So, you know, he's fifth. Yeah. He's fifth in the pecking order of those five players. So he is going to struggle for minutes. And the guy's just signed a new contract, so he'll be happy. And if he's not, we can get good money for him. I would put him out for a bit on loan. So yeah, but I wasn't overly impressed with Eze when he came on. I didn't think he done very much.
Ronnie's got the answer that I thought we should have gone to last night. Move Timber across and bring a White on at right back. That's exactly what I thought he should have done. And that's no disrespect to Miles Lewis-Skelly. But he just looked really rusty. And I thought all right, to be honest with you, Eze hadn't had any game time for 2-3 weeks now at least. So he's bunged him on in the 77th minute in a game against Liverpool where we're absolutely shut down. So I felt a bit for Eze. You know, Ronnie's saying that Nwaneri doesn't want to go out on loan. He said it himself. Well, I hope that's right because I love to see that kind of commitment from our younger players. But Ferg, I'm doing things that are unusual for me tonight, but there's certain times, right, when you have to be honest, right? You have to be honest and open up, right? And Gyökeres last night, for the first time since he's joined the club, I was a little bit worried. Ferg. He never showed at all from start to finish. He didn't trouble Van Dijk at all. And lots of strikers and forwards and creative midfield players from other clubs have been troubling Van Dijk this season. And it's worried me a little bit, Ferg. It's worried me a little bit, mate.
The bit I saw, myself and Alex came back after the game and we got back here about 11:30, 12 o'clock and had a bit of food and a beer. And we put on Sky Sports, whatever, and we saw a few clips of the game. And the one was Saka put a great cross into him and it came to what should be a natural striker sliding in and just tapping it in the back of the goal. And he didn't do it. I didn't notice him very much. Dan pointed out that his runs are very direct, just straight runs, not curving runs. Like say, he equated as one of the better ones of these sort of strikers as Van Persie, when at his finest, the way he curve and find the space. We shouldn't have to find the space for him. He should be able to find the space for himself and know where it is. I think Harry mentioned that on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In Gyökeres' defence, has it been quite a few games now where he's not scored? So he's moving out of position, trying to get the ball. But I would hope that Arteta would pull him about that, because people don't forget, right? I said it last week. I'll say it again now, right? And I'm not being a doom and gloom merchant here. For me, this is a fact. We signed us. Everyone is saying Havertz will be back shortly. Everyone is saying Jesus is back. But do not forget why we went and bought Gyökeres. We went and bought Gyökeres for the reason that Havertz and Jesus weren't scoring enough goals. So I'm worried. I am worrying, absolutely worrying. Ferg, before we go on, don't move from Gyökeres. Just got to put this comment up here. Classic Football Clocks, right? Look at this. Martin is his name. He's on Twitter as X as Classic Football Clocks. He sent me a wonderful clock that I ordered this week at a very good price. He's not paid me to say this, but go and have a look at his X page if you want. He can do personalised clocks with pictures on or whatever you want for any club. Yep. Ferguson, I've got that one. I've got another one now. I've got one with my family on outside the Emirates. It looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. So head across to X if you fancy getting a present for someone that's not very costly, or fancy a clock yourself. I said clock then, by the way, Fergus. Head across to Classic Football Clocks on X, and his contact details are there.
Why not get one of them? All the different numbers are Arsenal shirts. Are two ugly mugs in the middle. We don't make any money out of it. But
I wouldn't wish someone having to look at you and me for the next 10 years.
I tell you, I was speaking to Joe, the lady who owns, is it the Prince Edward up off Seven Sisters Road, and she's got some of the Guns and Yellow Ribbon stickers, and she stuck them on the beer mats on all the tables. And she came along and said, all the lads in there, all the locals go, oh, they're brilliant. I recognise him. That's Hilsey. They all recognise you, for Christ's sake, not me. My show.
Ferg, listen, right? I can't help it, you know. God, you see how slim I'm looking tonight as well, Ferg?
Oh, here we go.
Anyway, right. We've got to talk about it, right? And I want to talk about it. The Martinelli episode, right? Now, look, right. Firstly, right, Martinelli shouldn't have tried to move that player, right? I'll hold my hands up to that. But what Martinelli did could have happened to any player in the Premiership, right? Any player in the Premiership from any team. And the Liverpool player, while sadly injured, and I wish him a speedy recovery, did drag himself back onto the playing service, which is saying to Martinelli, he's not really injured, he's time wasting, right? And credit to the man, I'm not keen on him, but Arne Slot got it dead right after the game in his interview, right? So credit to Arne Slot. He's the only person I've heard on the TV, in the media, on social media, call it out like that, right? So, Ferg, I just want to take a bit of your time and feel free to interject, mate, right? Because Martinelli doing that, right, trying to move an injured player, whose fault is it, right? I was thinking about it today. Whose fault is it, right? Because from my thinking, right, 90% of players fake injury to gain advantage in this modern day game.
Frimpong earlier in the game.
No, but including Martinelli.
Yes, he
Martinelli's
done. He done it. Yeah, yeah.
I call it the Martinelli arm when he goes down. Right? So I'm not saying about any other team. I'm going to generalise Fergus, but you're right about Frimpong, by the way. I'm generalising, right? Okay. So they go down all the time. Coaches and managers allow their players to fake injuries, right? Some even signal to their keeper nowadays, go down injured and get treatment because I want to get a message across to the rest of the team. We've seen it happening, right?
Arteta told Martinelli many years ago when he came off and got injured and he was off the pitch, and he actually told him to get on the pitch and get treatment so they could stop the game for a short period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And those in charge of the sport don't call it out, Ferg. In certain areas, they encourage it, The PGMOL as a referees society doesn't call it out when they should be, because it would make their job a lot easier if players didn't fake injuries, FIFA and UEFA don't call it out when it had surely improved the game not to have players going down every 2 minutes pretending they're injured, Fans don't call it out. We don't call it out if it's our own club. We only call it out if it suits. Liverpool fans have been experts at that today. But if that would have happened at Anfield and it had been an Arsenal player down, injured, pretending or not, and someone tried to drag him off the field, most of them Liverpool fans would have been cheering him on, get him off, because that's what we do as fans. We follow our clubs, right? Keane and Neville don't call it out, yeah?
Before you go on to Keane and Neville, because I want to do that separately, let's just talk a little bit more on the Martinelli thing. Arnie came along and said he didn't see him fall, and I saw this clip. Arnie actually shared the clip with me, and I've taken a couple of stills from it. So I was very close to it, where it happened is just near that corner flag where we are, Trev, and the way I saw it, with 94 minutes on the clock, with about a minute or two left of injury time, I saw no, not that one. I saw Martinelli trying to go after the ball. Bradley has, what I thought, caught himself on the ankle and fell over. He then fell outside, or more or less outside the pitch, and he's off the pitch. Martinelli's looking at the ball there. There's a couple of other stills on the clip that I saw as well. But Martinelli's only seen him here now when he's picked the ball up. Yes, I agree that Martinelli shouldn't have done what he did in hindsight, but in the heat of the moment, in the way I felt in the ground, I thought Conor Bradley was doing exactly what he was doing. And the thing that made me confirm my beliefs at that very moment in time is when he pushed himself back onto the pitch. Exactly. He actually went up on his knee and his ankle, which were the injured parts that I'm talking about. I still don't know how severe his injury is. I've heard he went out on crutches, but I don't know any more than that.
Listen, why did you think? This is the important thing. I've called out I've been on X today, and I've called out journalists and TV companies and that, and not being horrible to them, but saying, if you're going to call Martinelli out for doing this, do a piece on it. Look deeper. Look at why Martinelli did that, right? Ferg, and it applies to you there, right? Why did you think Bradley was faking injury, right? I'll tell you. I'll answer it for you. I'll answer it for you.
Okay, you normally do.
Because, as I just said, 90% of the time these days, when a player goes down, they're faking injury. So, us, the fans, the other players, they're all thinking he's faking injuries. It's extra time, right? And for some strange reason, for the last 4 minutes of the game last night, added on time, we started playing again and looked like we might score when we hadn't done for the previous 45 minutes. So they're thinking he's wasting time. Now, the poor kid was injured, but the root cause of him not being treated immediately well is because all the other players fake injury.
So conscious of time, and my dinner's just arrived. You moving this along a bit. The player was injured Martinelli wasn't meant to know about, wouldn't have known about it. And from what he saw and I saw, he saw him pushing himself back onto the pitch again to gain an advantage by breaking up play, having treatment on the pitch, whatever it might be. Then the media goes mad. You got Roy Keane. Roy Keane, I thought, was reasonably measured, but still Roy Keane. But Gary Neville, a professional footballer who has a reputation of kicking the shit out of Reyes and other players over the years, comes along and says, I quote and unquote, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Liverpool players twatted him for that, or something along that lines. And I just thought, one, he shouldn't be using that language on TV, and two, he's encouraging violence against another professional footballer. He should not be doing that. No. And he should be sanctioned just as much for that. But it's also the media circus. Martinelli immediately went out on Instagram and put up a story and all his social media, apologized. He's spoken in text to the player, apologized. That's what you would do as a professional footballer. Yeah. And I think the media should calm down.
Look, yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, right, he did apologize, right? Neville and Keane are just full of fake outrage, hypocritical. And what it's done is it's given Liverpool fans and other fans from other Premier League clubs in particular the opportunity on social media to get stuck into the Arsenal today. And everybody loves having a go at the Arsenal. I've seen all sorts of things being put about Arsenal fans, the Arsenal board, the Arsenal management, the Arsenal coaches, the rest of the Arsenal players, the stadium. Everything's been called out today because Martinelli tried to pick a player up and carry him off the field. Look, right. So at the end of the day, Ferg, it'll die a death. The Liverpool fans are not all Liverpool fans. There's loads of good Liverpool fans, but there's quite a few on social media that are really good at this fake outrage stuff. They're really good at it. And God, have they got stuck into us today. And there you go. At the end of the day, you wouldn't see that banner appearing at the Emirates because not only would we just not do it, the club not allow it, I think most of our fans would be embarrassed by that as well, that we do that, something like that. So anyway,
we know the club wouldn't allow it because we tried to get Sol Campbell, or the guys tried to get Sol Campbell on that tifo, and there was big questions about, I don't know, we don't want to offend. So the club are very like that. Listen, one thing before we finish on this game, Jesus, why, Jesus? Why?
So annoying. You've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a striker and he's looking at the ball, but that goes in. Gabriel absolutely buries that. But listen, Ferg, at the end of the day, right, Liverpool haven't had a shot on target. I know they had a chance to hit the bar in the first half with that mistake, but that wasn't their own doing. That was our mistake. It was complete and utter dead rubber. From a game perspective, it was 0-0. It was awful to watch, but they didn't have a shot on target. The only difference with the game at Liverpool was that they scored a worldie and we didn't. I thought we would be better against Liverpool last night. Yeah. I really did, but we weren't. But we're still 6 points clear. We move on. We can't play that game again. We're ahead of the game when it comes to Fergus's all singing, all dancing chart here. We've got loads.
It's not mine. It's not mine. I nick it off somebody else. Don't worry.
Listen, what I want to do now, Ferg, I just want to say it's good to talk, right? And then if you want to go and have your tea, I want to run through the FA Cup games quick for about 5 minutes.
No. I'll heat it up, but I don't want to be on here forever. Yeah.
Ferg, listen, you talk about Andy's Man Club, please. You do it very well.
Andy's Man Club is a suicide prevention club, but it's not just there for that. It's there to help any men going through some crap in their life. If you need some help, if you need to talk and you can't talk to your mates, you can't talk to your missus, you can't talk to your mum, dad, whoever. Andy's Man Club run clubs up and down the country. I think they've got something like 600 clubs now. They run every Monday night from 7 to 9, which means you miss this show, unfortunately. But if you're going to Andy's Man Club and missing the show, we will give you a pass. Go to andysmanclub.co.uk and, don't struggle out there. Reach out, talk to somebody. Never, never, ever take a permanent solution to a temporary situation.
Absolutely. Well said, Ferg. The weather's dreary. Our moods are dreary. The Arsenal-Liverpool game was dreary. but there's people to lift us. You lift me, Ferg. You make me smile, and that's all that matters, really. That's all that matters.
I'm waiting for you. Lift me up.
Listen, what we're going to do now, people. So sorry, Ferg. What we're going to do now, people, right? It's the FA Cup third round this weekend. I've chosen a few games where I think
I haven't got a clue. I've got no prep.
Well, there might be an upset. So I'm going to ping them at Ferg quickly. Say, is there going to be an upset or not, Ferg? I'm going to make a mark on it and I'm going to call him out on him next week. Unlucky, Ferg. And then we'll just quickly mention Portsmouth v Arsenal. Right, Ferg? So the first one I'm going to chuck at you is Wrexham v Forest. Can Wrexham beat Forest?
Can Wrexham beat Forest? Yes. Will Wrexham beat Forest? It depends on what Forest put out, but I think Forest, they're safe. They're safe, probably safe in the league after that victory over West Ham last weekend. So they may rest some players, and if they do rest some players, then I think that could give Wrexham an opportunity. Where is it? Is that Wrexham or is that Forest? It's up at Wrexham. Okay, I can read your lips because you're on mute.
It's at Wrexham, yeah. That's why I said Wrexham first. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go. Wrexham. Yeah, it'd be good for Disney, wouldn't it, as well?
You think Wrexham are going to beat Forest? Wow. Yeah. Okay, then. Right, for next one. Wolves, who are not doing very well, are they? At home to Shrewsbury. I don't know how Shrewsbury are doing this season.
I think they're League One. I can't see anything but a Wolves win. You know what? I could even go to a replay.
No, you've gone for a Wolves win now, right? That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I've made a mark against it. Right, next one. Keep them coming in the comments, please, people. Keep them coming in the comments, and feel free to have a pop at Ferg if you think he's got one wrong, right? Please feel free. Macclesfield at home to Palace, Ferg.
Ian's gone 2-1 to the Shrews. That was on the other one. Macclesfield v Palace. It's got to be Palace, hasn't it? Although, do Palace really want another fixture when they got Europe and the league as well? I think they'll rotate. But yeah, I'm going to go Palace.
The pressure's on you here, Ferg, not me. I'm asking the questions, right?
Yeah, it's great. I'd love to be.
Okay, then. Man City at home to Exeter. Surely you're going for Exeter here, aren't you?
I'd love it. I'd love it. Yeah, no, it's Man City. It's got to be City, hasn't it?
Okay, then. We've just had just this comment from Ronnie here. Oh, Lordy, Ronnie. Don't remind me, Ronnie. Don't remind me when we got beat. Horrible. On a par with us losing to Swindon at Wembley. Trevor's been on the wacky back here, I reckon. Anyway, here we go, Ferg. Sheffield Wednesday, who are having all sorts of problems. You know, they've had bad ownership. They've come out of that, but they've lost that many points. They're going to be relegated this year. Sad. Sheffield Wednesday at home to Brentford, though. Could their mood be lifted against Brentford, Ferg?
Brentford are doing well. They're fifth in the Premier League now.
For the benefit of the quiet people listening on audio only, it's quiet because Ferg is actually thinking for once.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Out to Brentford, Ferg.
Go on, let's back Sheffield.
You're back in the Wednesday. I don't know. Does anyone want to agree with it? Anyone else think Wednesday are going to beat Brentford? Right, Ferg. Here we go. Now this could be a right ding dong. This Fulham at home to Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have got a really good side this year in the Championship.
They have. Fulham to Middlesbrough. Fulham are hot and cold. That's gone to a replay.
It's going to a replay. So we're going draw, right? We're going draw. Okay. Next one. Oh, this could be. Now, Burnley at home, and Burnley fans don't take no crap at home, do they? They're known for being working class, tough men of the streets, working class, good, honest people. Burnley at home to Millwall, Ferg. Cool. Millwall started off good. They've dropped off a bit recently, haven't they?
Yeah, but Burnley can be quite handy up that way, can't they? They're quite feisty. So Millwall coming to town, I can see. What are we talking on or off the pitch?
We're talking. We're keeping it. We are a fine, reputable podcast, so we're keeping it absolutely on the pitch, Fergus.
I can't see Millwall progressing. I'll go Burnley again. It could be another replay one, but Burnley.
Well, we've got 5 more to do, Ferg. Right.
Right.
Charlton Athletic at home to Chelsea in a minor London derby, I know, but nevertheless a London derby, the lower league club at home. Charlton v Chelsea.
Charlton. An upset, Charlton.
You're going to go for Charlton, but it wouldn't surprise me, that actually.
No, it wouldn't. I've had a feeling, but I heard that game a few times on the radio, and I went, "Oh, I can see that going horribly wrong for Chelsea, and it'd be lovely."
Yeah. Ronnie's got ahead of the ball game here. Where's Ronnie? Ronnie, we're not talking about all Premier League games, mate. I'm sorry, but I hope you're right, Ronnie. I really hope you are right, mate. Here we go then, Ferg. Right. Derby County at home to Leeds.
If Leeds, but at the Leeds team that they're playing at the minute, Leeds are on fire. I think they're looking really, really good. It's got to be Leeds.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think Leeds will be too good at Derby. Right then, another minor London derby, but one of some importance to the home team because they're not having the best of season, struggling. A cup run would do them wonderfully well, the home side. West Ham v QPR.
Oh, that's huge. That's the talk of my local pub because half the people there's a couple of QPR fans in there, quite a few West Ham ones. Oh, Jesus. They've got 9,000. They sold out in 10 minutes, QPR did. Yeah. I can see an upset. The West Ham are just so poor. And that, sadly, will be the end of Nuno. I think he's a decent manager, actually.
Yeah, I feel for West Ham. I do. There's a couple of West Ham pages on social media that are right proper wind-up merchants. Horrible. But even their own fans don't like them. So I quite
West Ham Central.
Yeah, I take quite a pleasure, Fergie, watching them get called out. I don't mind West Ham. Feel for their fans in that horrible, skanky stadium. So I'm going to go for West Ham to have a bit of a cup run this year. I'm going the opposite way. I've gone for West Ham to beat QPR. Right, 2 more to go, Ferg. Liverpool at home to Barnsley.
I'd love Barnsley to do it.
Yeah,
because then they'd probably blame Martinelli. For losing, wouldn't they?
Guaranteed. Can you imagine it on social media? The Liverpool fans.
If we had Conor Bradley, we would have won that game. So Barnsley are going to win. Barnsley are going to win 1-0.
We've lost to Barnsley, Fergie. If that Martinelli hadn't done that, we'd have beat Barnsley. You know what I mean? We definitely would have beat Barnsley. Yeah, I'm going for a Barnsley. Shall we both go for a Barnsley to win at Liverpool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, the last one, Ferg. The last one. Portsmouth at home to the mighty Arsenal. I know that's not all the games, people. I've just chosen out the ones where there was going to be an upset, and then I've left the certainty of a big team winning till the last one. Portsmouth v Arsenal, Ferg.
Well, Portsmouth are struggling just to stay in the Championship at the minute. Portsmouth haven't beaten Arsenal since 1958. I think the last time they played us was in. Was it in when they were in the? Did they play us in the Cup, and then previously would have been the Premier League about early 2000s, early mid. Like
the last time we played, I can't remember the date of it exactly. I could find it out because I've got the ticket in the program.
We beat them 2-0 in March 2020.
That's it. That was the last game we played away from home before lockdown. They'd sent out the tickets for Sheffield United away and another game away. And we never got to use the tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a Monday night kickoff, and we won 2-0 down there. You know what? I'd take that score right now. I do think we'll win the game. I think we should win the game comfortably. I think we'll change some players, Ethan and Wanyeri. I'd like to see to get some time. I'd like to see Norgard get some time, rotate the back line a little. Obviously, Neto would go in goal. No, it's not Kepa. Sorry, not
Who?
Neto.
Neto.
Kepa. Yeah. Kepa would go in goal. I listened to some guy on the radio, and he said 5-0 Arsenal. I thought, Jesus Christ, I'd love that. That'd be fantastic. We'd be drunk as lords down there, Trev.
I think we probably will win comfortably, Ferg. I mean, it'll be different because it's a Sunday. But last time we played there, it was a Monday night, Ferg, and there was after the game, there was nothing open. We couldn't get a drink anywhere, and we went back to our hotel, and thankfully the bar in our hotel was still open, so we sat there and had a few. But I think we'll win comfortably against Portsmouth, Ferg. We're going to put our second team out, and it will be, I think, a proper second team. I hope he plays Gyökeres. I really hope he plays Gyökeres. I've got a feeling he might start Jesus and then bring Havertz on. But I think Gyökeres needs to be playing in that game. What Cross Jonky said is exactly right. And I think we'll win comfortably and have a good trip down to Portsmouth. Right, Ferg, listen. That's it about done for tonight, mate, right? We've rushed through it, people. We didn't want to do... And look, our good friend John's just joined us. John, you're late to the party, mate. We're just about to wrap it up, son. Yeah, I think it's all like Liverpool's gone and dusted. Fortunately, our opposition, our two closest opposition, drew the night before, so it's still a 6-point gap. Forget about the Martinelli thing unless you're a journalist or a television person that's going to actually look into a bit deeper, as I said earlier, because it wasn't a Martinelli problem last night. In the bigger picture, it was a football problem, that incident. Liverpool fans have taken great pleasure in giving us a hard time on social media today with their false outrage, but then we'd have probably done similar, maybe not quite as bad, but we'd have been upset. So anyway, that's done from me. I'm not joining Fergus on Monday because I'm not here. I'm away for a few days. There's 200 and odd people watching live at the moment. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Sorry it's been a bit shorter tonight, although a lot of you'll be thinking, thank God it's a bit shorter tonight, you know.
My stomach is.
You what?
My stomach is.
Yeah. Thank you for watching us. If you can go across to YouTube and hit the subscribe button, it'd be very much appreciated. And I'm just going to go over to Ferg now to press the button and see us out, Ferg. Do you know what?
To Arnie, he didn't even get a chance even to open his beer. And I'm on water here as well. That's water in my arsenal glass.
Do you know what, Ferg? I found that video today of us all doing North London Forever, drunk as skunks in PSV Eindhoven last year. I'm gonna have to send you that one, and we're gonna have to put that one on one night. It's
well, you can't because you skew it halfway through it, so it all goes.
Part and parcel. We're all drunk, and Will, our good friend Will, the Geordie Arsenal fan, he won't thank me for saying that. He was filming it, and he said to me today, "What was I doing?" He said, "I was drunken." But that's part of the fun.
Shall we share it? Let's share it. Hang on.
Have you got it? Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, this ain't good. This ain't good.
All right, let's put it up here. Let's bring it up on this side.
It's carnival time in Eindhoven, and we'd been drinking for about 2 days solid.
Here we go. If anybody wants to know what a European away trip is like, that is a classic. That is, you know what? We are going to get sanctioned by YouTube, and that's going to have to be snipped out. Anytime you put the actual music on there, it gets sanctioned. So anybody who's listening on the audio or watching and catch up, you're going to miss that one. Trevor, I'm going to get some food. I'm absolutely starving. I was saying to Trev earlier, I ordered myself a takeaway, and it didn't turn up. So I rang the place, and no answer. So I've ordered a second takeaway, and that arrived just as we were doing this. So I'm going. You have been watching Guns and Yellow Ribbons.
I don't eat anymore. I don't eat anymore, and all you've done all night is talk about bloody food, Fergus.
I'm hungry. You have been watching Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Thank you for joining. 239 of you. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to us. Have a great trip, Trevor. I'll see you over the weekend, and I'll hold the fort on Monday. Up the Arsenal, Fox Spurs.
Thanks for listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons or Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too. Up the Arsenal.